Hi, I'm Claudia Brown Coulter with Pivotal Peace. I'm your go-to mediator for navigating divorce while parenting children with special needs. I'm also a registered legal document assistant based in the greater Los Angeles area. So after you're divorced, if you have a spousal support order that is modifiable, that means it can be changed. So maybe you are the person who's supposed to be paying support and you are making less money. Or your spouse who you've been supporting, or your former spouse who you've been supporting, is now making more money and less of a need for spousal support. Also, maybe your spouse has lost earnings and you have gained in your earnings, and so now your spouse is going to need more money from you. What are the steps? The very first step is to have a conversation. The very first step is to have a conversation. I know many people who have written into their divorce agreement, their divorce decree, that they're going to meet and confer. That's a fancy term for saying we're going to talk every year to review the taxes, to look at, okay, how has your income changed and how has my income changed? And one, how does that impact child support? And two, how does that impact spousal support? And really this comes into play for spousal support in long-term marriages, especially people who are older, who can't go back into the workforce. If this was a short-term marriage, it's really not really going to have much bearing. But already having that precedent set up, knowing that once a year we're going to have this conversation, or once every 2 years we're going to have a conversation, it's something that could potentially be coming. But the conversation is important because if there is a real need, either to increase or decrease spousal support, then you need to talk about that. If you need to come back to mediation about it, fine, that's fine. You can reach a mediated agreement and file something in court to let the court know, okay, this is how we've changed our spousal support orders. This is what the new spousal support amount is going to be. But if not, you can file a request for orders. It's a FL 300. You can fill that out and ask the court to have a hearing to evaluate an increase in spousal support. I would say not to take this lightly. The court is really going to see, is there a change in circumstances? What are your financial details? Where's your documentation? Are you really not making any more money? You've not become self-supporting? Or did you really lose your job and you can no longer pay this support? They want to know that information. So they want to look for a change of circumstance and they want to make sure you're being honest. Obviously, people lie. People lie. Don't be that person. Don't be that person. But the court is going to want to know that information from you, and you need to provide it. And then the court can rule, and the court means the judge. The court can rule on what the spousal support order should be, whether it should stay the same or whether it should change. It's always better to have a conversation first, because who wants to have a check from someone who's pissed at you? And who wants to grumble every month while you write that check? Some of those things can't be controlled, but have a conversation first so that no one is blindsided by the need, either of an increase or a decrease, and so that you guys are on the same page. Yeah, it's uncomfortable. Having financial ties to someone that you are divorced from, it's complicated. It's messy. It's always better to cut those ties, but it's not always feasible. So if that's your situation, then take care of what you need to take care of. Get that extra money or get that reduction in spousal support. But it really should start with the conversation. Don't start with the court. Don't escalate this. Start with the conversation first and see if you can get somewhere from there. You can do it. It's not that hard. It will be a little uncomfortable. There are uncomfortable things that we do all the time, and it turns out okay. So hang in there. You can do that. Have a great day.